Hello everyone, I'm back for another Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade video in which I summon for the new green Shoko here as I start off with some okay multis for freaking sure, but I'm going to go ahead and get a black flash and let's see. Memory! And that was definitely not something that I wanted to go ahead and see for freaking sure, chat. For freaking sure, it was not something I wanted to go ahead and see, but I am just going to have to deal with it right here, right now, as I go ahead and get another nothing multi. This is either going to be really good or really bad. We're about to go ahead and see because Bruce West! Let's go! Hey! There we go! That's Shoko! Yeah! Let's go! Woo! That was actually not that bad. I was not that bad, chat. I wasn't that bad. These summons went even better than my GOJO summons. We take this. We absolutely take it. Let's freaking go. Oh my days, chat. Let's go. Yeah, I haven't grinded up the 10 tickets from the map event either, so I'm still going to be able to do that. We did not get any 10 tickets for this banner, I do believe, because it was just the rerun of the memory quest, and we have the new map event as well, which is not for the tickets for Shoko, of course. We just have the featured gacha tickets right here to exchange for instead, which of course is for one of these. I believe it's probably this one if I had to guess, but you know, it's gonna be very, very good to see that. And of course, let's go into a box showcase just because there's a couple things I want to point out. First of all, I got this guy with free tickets, and of course I just got Shoko, so that's absolutely amazing. Absolutely dripped out box, all kinds of damage per second units. Absolutely just goated right here. Look at that, chat. Absolutely amazing. Amazing collection I got here for sure. Definitely very happy with how hidden inventory went because I got Shoko quite quickly, actually. That was actually pretty lucky, if I do say so myself. That was very good. That was actually very, very good summons for Shoko. That's awesome. That's actually amazing. Wow. So the only one left would be Naname when he eventually comes out, because with Shoko, there is only from the time that she comes out on Global, we only have, of course, Teen Naname, Ino, and the new GOJO left to drop, and that will be us caught up to the Japanese version. That is insane how close we are to catching up and how fast this character really came to Global for freaking real, chat. It is so real how fast Shoko came over to Global. It is absolutely insane how fast we are catching up to the Japanese version. You love to see it, gang. Literally just watch the Bad Guys 2 before summoning on this banner. And by the way, that movie was fire. It was so gas. Oh, it was so tough. Yeah, I saw like the early morning showing, and then I got right into summoning on this banner. So with that being said, I'm not going to make any hasty decisions. I'm going to get on out of here. Hey. And something to note. I'm just going to reiterate this. If you do not know, the memories for these limited characters, besides, I believe, Jujutsu Kaisen 0, are not limited. So this memory right here that's coming out with the Hollow Purple GOJO, that memory is not limited. This, When Summer Clings to Time, is not limited. This traditional Game Center memory is not limited. Shoko is limited. And GOJO is also limited. So, walking away from the celebration with at least 2 out of 3 right now of these limited characters is actually so gas. That's so fire. That's what you love to see. Gang! With that being said, of course, the only limited objects that I do not have now is the Blue Miguel and the Red Nanami. Absolutely insane support. But speaking of supports, this Shoko is absolutely insane for the green type, especially with the health regeneration and the support as well, giving awesome buffs to all of these kids. Dang! Nah, Shoko got the buffs for real, chat. Really showing off. This is how you do a reverse curse technique, GOJO. You don't understand, which is, of course, ironically, how GOJO ascended to the Honored One state in the first place is because he understood reverse curse techniques. So I like that part 1 and part 2 for the celebration really cling to each other, because it's a culmination of what reverse curse technique can do with Satoru GOJO, and it's Shoko, one of the greats when it comes to reverse curse technique, showing GOJO how to do a reverse curse technique. But of course, GOJO had to learn it the hard way, which was not it's had some demerits for him. Let's just say that. But of course, it's how he became the Honored One we know today. So, with that being said, I'll get on out of here. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this Shoko Iere Fushin Bush summoning video. Yeah, I think this celebration is going to be overall a W for me, even if I don't get an Nanami, just because, I got Shoko and GOJO. So I'm walking out of here happy with a massive W. I have Shoko, I have Awakened GOJO, and I got Geto the last time Hidden Inventory came around. So that's going to be an epic green team, but I can just use all these with also the green Yuji, of course, because the top DPS is this square of Yuji, Sukuna, and Toji on my DPS, and these were just characters I just awakened just really because. But that's all for me. That's all for now. I'll get on out of here. Oh my gosh, this was a great summoning video. But with that being said, that'll wrap it up. Hopefully y'all summons one nearly as well. I just been on an absolute hot streak with my luck. So, I'll just ride on out of here. Alright, let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think about the acceleration. I think y'all should probably consider saving for the 2nd anniversary for Japan, and probably the 1st anniversary for Global if we continue with this pace, because of the fact that they're probably going to drop hype Shibuya limited characters, especially because it makes sense for them to build up to that, right? The final Shibuya incident characters for freaking sure. So, definitely something to consider. However, this Shoko and of course the GOJO are both very valuable characters, and the reason why I'm mainly recommending summoning for these characters is because they're limited. But just keep in mind, it's only a couple months away, because we've had 4 anniversary level celebrations this year. We've had, honestly, I'd say JJK 0 is on that level, just with Yuta, and then, of course, Geto getting buffed later on definitely makes that celebration worthy of being quote-unquote anniversary level. And then we have anniversary 0.5, and with the GOJO Geto and Toji, Anniversary 0.5. And then, of course, we have Anniversary 1 with Yuji Itadori and GOJO, and then following after that, Sukuna, limited characters. And then we had the JJK0 rerun with Miguel being added. And then we have this celebration with Shoko, the Honored One GOJO, and what's coming up later, Red Nanami. And then for the first anniversary for Global. And then the second anniversary for Japan. The 5th anniversary level celebration. We technically had 4 anniversaries this year, but I'd say JJK0 counts enough to be 5, if that makes sense. But with that being said, the game has accelerated super fast. I would definitely recommend at least trying to save for the 2nd anniversary, just because that's really the last exhaustion point for us. That's really going to be where I believe we're going to sink and finally breathe a sigh of relief as global players. We can finally slow down after that point. But of course, I think that's where we can see our Maharagas, our second Sukuna, and our just absolutely wicked limited characters like that. So I think that's what's going to happen. But that's all predictions for now. I'm definitely enjoying this hidden inventory rerun celebration, especially because they have a limited characters this time around, for freaking sure. So I'd say those are the ones you want to target, is the limited characters, just because you don't have time to summon for all these standard characters. And, like, I personally have all the characters on the first standard batch, except for Hollow Purple Kojo, the original green one. All the other characters I have from that batch. So that's definitely a reason why I'd say just go for the limited characters. Don't really worry about the standard characters. They'll come to you for freaking sure. The limited characters are the one that's limited, the one that's absolutely, absolutely amazing to get. And every single limited character besides, I say Miguel, honestly is absolutely worth it to summon for sure. So with that being said, hopefully y'all enjoyed, and until next time, let's freaking go. I'm walking out of here with a massive W. Let's go. Bye.